Hello to myself and everybody else. This is video 131. So far today, we're still looking at examples from the free code camp video. And so far this time, the first one we're going to be looking at is inheriting base constructors. And so far with this, again, I'll just go ahead and show the code and all that first, and then go into what we're doing. So this is the main CPP file. Then here's the person.h file. I'll go ahead and scroll down so you can just see the rest of it. Then the person.cpp file. Then the engineer.h file. So far again, I'll scroll down. And then the engineer.cpp file. Again, this one also, I'll just go and like scroll down and everything. Okay. So far with this, the whole thing with this example was just that, like it was saying with the default constructor and everything and all that as well. Like here, the default one, or even like the base constructors we have here. Basically, we can have those inherit over and everything to another class, so we have that inherit over to a child without this one using like its own like constructors and everything and stuff here. So basically the constructors and everything in engineer, these are all commented out, and instead we have this code right here using person. This basically says to inherit the constructors from person over here. And basically that's the whole thing itself there, just to be able to use the default like constructors and everything. Doing this will allow this right here to run. So again, we have a class called engineer called eng1, and we have the name, age, and address. That's all the constructors and everything too inside of person. So again, full name, age, and address. So if I run this, it will work. Again, it shows it all. So again, the engineer class ran, and it has the name, age, and address. So far, it also has contract count 0 because we don't have that parameter here at the end. So far, the contract count, it will not work unless we do something very specific. In engineer.cpp, we have all the other constructors commented out. The default one you need no matter what is this. You need this to get it to work overall. But if you have this right here, this allows for you to put in the fourth parameter, which is the contract count. Because if you try to run it without this code right here, it will just get an error if you try to input like another number. So I put comma 45 and run it. It will work now because the code themselves there. See, it shows contract count 45. But if I go in here and I comment this out, so I do this, and then just down here, that. So if I comment it out and then run it, there'll be an error. It won't work. I get rid of the parameter and stuff here and run it. And it works. Again, it'll still say default contract count equals 0, but we can't put another parameter because we don't have that parameter set up here inside of engineer. That was like the main thing the video showed and everything like that as well. So but that's just the main way to be able to get like the base constructor. Mostly is just, you know, using and then the name of the class you want to inherit the constructors and stuff from. And then make sure you have everything set up in the CPP file, or again, if you have it in one file, then just make sure any other parameters, stuff you need, make sure you have stuff set up for that and everything. And so far, that's mostly it and everything too with this one. Wait, actually, there is one more thing. So far, this whole thing here too, inheriting base constructors, it says that you can't really like double in, like it says, I'm trying to think exactly how to phrase it. Basically, you can't normally inherit these to another class. So basically, like the person one here, it's inherited to engineer. So far, I couldn't make civil engineer and have it just, you know, pass everything down to there. Like, it's not like usually inherited. So I don't think I really could do that. Like, it was something specific they said about this too and all, where it's like, again, you can't like normally, like, hold on real quick. Okay, yeah, I'm back. So far, I got my stuff mixed up for a second. All right. Basically, copy constructors, the thing we looked at in the last video, those you cannot inherit over. That was the thing with that. Copy constructors cannot be inheritable. So far with this, the base constructors, you can inherit them and everything. The thing I was thinking about was, basically the person in the video said, you should not use this. You should not really have base constructors be inherited in this way. Like, so from person, the base constructors, over to engineer, say you really shouldn't do this because it can confuse anybody else who's working with this stuff. That was the main thing it said. I was getting my notes mixed up because I've been doing a lot of these. So yeah. So that's really the whole thing there. Just saying this can be confusing if you use code with somebody else. The copy constructors are the ones that can't be inherited over. That's just the problem there. So that was the whole thing with that one. So I'm going to move on to the next one. And so far, the other thing the video talked about was inheritance with deconstructors. And so far, this one's a pretty simple one just to show. So again, I'll just run through the code real quick. Here's the main CPP file. Here's a person.h file. Again, I'll go ahead and scroll down and everything on it. Person.cpp. Engineer.h. Engineer.cpp. I'll go ahead and scroll down with this one as well. Civil engineer.h and civil engineer.cpp. Same thing, I'll go ahead and scroll down with this one as well. Okay, so far really with this one, the main thing just to focus on is in the person.h file, the main thing we have is, again, the deconstructor and everything and stuff right here. And basically all we did was just make sure in the deconstructor down here, we just added deconstructor for person called, and that was really it. Did the same thing again, deconstructor in engineer.h. Make sure there was a message in the engineer deconstructor, and the exact same thing in the civil engineer deconstructor, and then make sure we have a message in the deconstructor right here. And basically it's the exact same thing as like another video where it just said constructors will go in order from top to bottom, and then deconstructors will go in reverse order from bottom to top. That's really the only thing here. It's just showing it's the same thing. So right here we have an object called ENG1. He's using the civil engineer class. And again, has all the parameters in it. So far we just run it. We can just see what constructors and deconstructors go. Yeah, right here. So far just showing that the custom constructor for person is called, then the custom one for engineer, and then the custom one for civil engineer. Then the deconstructors, it goes in reverse order with civil engineer being called first, then engineer, then person. That's really the whole thing with the video, just saying that, like, even with inheritance, it's still the same order. Constructors will go from top to bottom, and deconstructors will go from bottom to top. And really, that was it for the video and stuff too. It just showed as well. Again, a very long example to show this simple thing they showed earlier, but again, just an example to have. So that's really it. So to myself and everybody else, see you in the next one.